I almost forget to open the microphone once again, but not this time. Okay. Another live stream. Let me open my simulated account. This simulated account that I purchased for $20 per month. Okay. Chart. Alright, now this can wait. Go back to the chart. Our trading view chart. Let's check what is going on. I want to show something from yesterday. I think I might start doing some short videos on YouTube. Now, if we zoom out, we see a consolidation area over here. And this would be the retracement towards the consolidation area. Why this? Because this was the low that was created the last high, right? Think of it like the SBS idea. This market liquidity cycle is very similar to SBS. There is no big difference between them. The only difference is this requires a consolidation area and some imbalances when price leaving that area, or maybe in here, just like in here, there aren't many multiple imbalances, but price is spending a long time above the area. So when either price creates the consolidation area, leaves it, if price leaves the area with imbalances, that makes this area a strong support level, and especially if price is consolidating like that on higher time frames, this is a higher time frame consolidation. Price wants to tap this area multiple times, or at least come towards that area multiple times. For example, it comes close to it, makes another high, sweeps this low, goes again, makes another high, comes back lower, sweeps once again, the last low, taps the area, right? Price likes to do that back and forth. I just want to show this setup from yesterday before I start the session. This is the previous day low, and when we zoom in hourly time frame, this is our inducement low, the tap low. I mean second sequence. What happens? Price sweeps that. This is the fractal nature of the price. Price creates a small consolidation area, makes the retracement towards the area, leaves multiple imbalances, retracement, imbalances again, comes back, sweeps the tap low, and then reverses back higher after making this failed swing. Failed swing, close above this, that's a reversal. And this becomes another consolidation area and another fractal. Price just barely swept it and went back higher. These are some nice scalp opportunity examples. Now let's get back to price and see if it gives us some nice setups. Okay. I want to remove drawings first, and then I want to zoom out a little bit. I just opened my chart, alright? This is something related to trading psychology, and I believe this is something really important. I do my best to avoid take trades as soon as I sit in front of the computer. I wanna spend some time in front of it to be able to go into flow state, right? Because the more I concentrate on price action and the more I see the candlesticks are developing and the more I observe the chart, the more my brain will get into that trader mode, right? Both analyst and trader mode. Firstly, I'm looking at chart, analyzing some price levels, looking at it, trying to get some idea, trying to get the picture, right? I'm just currently looking at the picture. And when I do that, my brain is creating a order. It is searching for old patterns. It is searching for old experiences. It is processing the information in front of me, and also my brain is releasing some chemicals like norepinephrine, which is the adrenaline but released inside the brain, and things like cortisol, stress hormones, but my brain releasing the stress hormones in a good way. Stress hormones doesn't mean just feeling stressed out, etc. It also means that a stress hormone is just a molecule that activates our nervous system. And of course, we don't want extremely activated nervous system when we trade because we want to be calm, right? Calm and grounded. We want to be chill, but we don't want to feel groggy too. I mean, we don't want to feel sleepy in front of the charts. We want to be somewhat alert to receive more information and receive the information more efficiently. So that's why I am not rushing most of the sessions to be able to go into flow. Right now I'm just observing the price, looking at these levels. Okay, this is a consolidation area. Price left an imbalance while leaving this small consolidation. There's this small one. Price left an imbalance while leaving that area. There are some imbalances in here too, but they were created on Asia and they were already fulfilled, so I'm just gonna ignore them. This is another bigger area. This is the retracement towards the area. This is the last high, right? Price is currently taking the retracement low, and when I check out the daily chart, yesterday price took previous day low. I'm not sure if price does the same on today's price action too. When we look at the ES chart, S&P 500, it took previous day low too. There seems to be a divergence over here, and we see a strong reaction from that divergence. And let's see if Nasdaq has got that similar strong reaction. Yes. This is the low that ES took. These are the lows that ES took, but Nasdaq did not. This is our divergence. I believe higher time frame is slightly bullish. The only reason I believe that it is bullish is price is range bound and we are close to range lows. Okay, I might take short scalp setups over here, but I'm not going to assume that price is going to break out lower. I mean, I will always assume that it will bounce from the lows as long as it doesn't break out. because it has the consolidation tendency for a real long time, and I always assumed that it might keep doing that until it doesn't. Instead of getting chopped out every day expecting the breakout, I expect chop every day and maybe I lose money one day during that breakout. Okay, so my around these levels, when price is close to the bottom of the range, around the bottom of the range I am bullish, but it doesn't mean just because I'm bullish I'm going to take long setups. No, yesterday I was bullish too, but I didn't just blindly take the long setups. I just listened to the price, I watched it, and I took the short setups around these levels. You can watch yesterday's live stream. There was some nice setups over there. So today I am even more cautious about the short setups because of the reasons that I talked about, because of the momentum over here. As you can see, I'm not blindly selling just because it is going lower, or I'm not entering on the fair value gap just because it looked bearish, just because it looked like going lower. Okay, so, and I am also not rushing to get this kind of long setup around these levels, because if this is bullish, I believe it will very likely present nice setups. I'm not telling that this is not an I don't think this is a bad setup, this candlestick closure over here, something like that, but this is not a lower time frame setup. It is actually a 5-minute setup, and entry like from here would be even better. I mean, setup like this is valid and okay. The target would be Monday high. We got already divergence in the lows, but I'm not really used to trading 5-minute charts. I'm more experienced trading on 1-minute chart, and I'm not really comfortable using big stop losses like that. I mean, I'm a scalper, so I'll just wait for a scalp setup, right? This is the midnight open price or through day open. This is the New York time, and this is the exact opening price of the midnight. These gaps are weekly gaps. Green one is the daily gap. This level is previous daily close, Monday's closing price, and this is Tuesday's opening price. This is Tuesday's Globex opening price. Tuesday Asia session starts here, and this blue line over here is Tuesday's midnight opening price. I will make a video about these levels too, about how I use them, etc. Right now, this looks solid and bullish, and these highs are my targets, especially this one. I believe we may see some reaction from this high. This small little one already taken. I will open ES chart, ES S&P 500. I will set an alarm on this high. Let's get back to NQ. Oh, it is going straight up, huh? One-sided. Right. Let me zoom in Yeah, it is expanding. Okay. I will look at 30-second chart. I believe this place might work as a support level, and this low might be protected at least for a while. Let me check the economic calendar real fast. Oh, there's consumer confidence index, manufacturing index. Honestly, I have no idea what these are, and I don't care about them either. I just, most of the times, especially if they are red ones, I don't take any setups around them. That's it. And this one used to be a red news, but now they are making it yellow. I don't know the exact reason, but still, it's not just a worthless empty rule. So I will be cautious about that news release. I would like to see price taking out this high before it keeps going higher. It may keep going higher without taking out this high, but this low, excuse me, not high. But I would like to see price taking out that level. I'm going to take a long position if price sweeps this and then turns back higher. This will be a scalp long. It seems like price is not willing to take that level. It's okay. I can wait. Normally I don't recommend going to seconds chart. I recommend going 1 minute chart at lowest. I mean, most of the time the lowest time frame I use is 1 minute. Almost all my executions are on 1 minute chart, but I rarely go into 30-second chart to zoom in only when price is really fast. I mean, yesterday I wouldn't look at 30-second or 15-second charts because yesterday price action was slower and I executed on 1 minute chart. But today it seems pretty fast, so that's why I am zooming in. Okay, let's keep waiting. Price is going through our direction, but didn't present a liquidity sweep on the time frames we wanted to see. I mean, higher time frame. By higher time frame, I mean 5 minute or 15 minute. We can see them liquidity sweeps on higher time frames, but on the lower time frame, we didn't see a liquidity sweep yet. I think it is making one. It might be making one on 15 seconds, but I don't know. I think I don't want to take the 15-second chart setup. I will look at the 30-second instead. But I kind of feel like price might turn back higher after taking out this low. Let's see. I will go into 30-second chart. And I want to see ES chart. 1 minute. ES is weaker than Nasdaq. If I am going to open a long position, it is not going to be ES. I would open the long on Nasdaq instead, because Nasdaq is a stronger pair. I'm not going to take this setup. I'm just watching it. I might click paper trade just for the experience, just for the learning purposes. But no setup on my evaluation account, not yet. Let me check this low. Nasdaq. This low was taken either. Okay, this 30-second setup seems worth the try. I was a little late, so I will place limit order. Another one. This is 205 point stop loss, right? Okay. I will keep my stop loss over here. If this turns back higher, I will add and trail stop to this low. This is an SBS setup with momentum. Price has been going with momentum and retrace towards this level. And I made a bet on that momentum. I mean, I told myself if this momentum is going to continue, I'm trying out this one. If it doesn't continue, I would get stopped out and just wait and see what happens next. I'm waiting for candlestick closure. Okay, it closed. I won't add another one. I believe this size is big enough. This looks like a combo on candlestick structure. Not the cleanest one, but you can see it if you zoom into seconds chart. Doesn't look so amazing, but sometimes these work. Sometimes they play out, sometimes they don't. Okay, our stop loss was taken. Price wanted to take out this low too. Now I'm just watching and I might take another setup because this seems like a double bottom. The entry above this high with buy stop. If price cannot go above this high, I will remove the entry. If I see that candlestick is closing, I will move this entry from to here. Yes, it is closed. Okay, this entry idea is invalidated. Now I wait. I wait on 1 minute time frame to see what's going on. Right now I don't really like what I see because it started off with real nice momentum, but it seems like it is turning back, and I don't think it swept the proper levels. Oh, Nasdaq couldn't sweep this high, but it took these two. Sometimes it happens. I was expecting one last push towards this extreme over here. I still think price might come back and take this high with a moment like this, but let's see. When I see imbalances like that, I don't take entries. I mean, I do not place my buy stop entry to this high because of the imbalance. Because it might look like it is going higher, but then after tapping this, price might wanna make another low, another sweep, go back higher. I wanna see the reaction from the bearish imbalance first. This is sell side imbalance, sell imbalance, bearish imbalance, whatever you wanna call it. Hourly chart. I understand. News release is coming too, so I am flat right now. Let's wait for that news release and the 10 a.m. candle and see what happens after that. NQ is awesome. Yep, NQ is awesome. Appreciating listening to your analysis. Thank you, Catherine. It's nice to see you on here. Welcome to the live stream. Welcome to the chat. Yep, I'm waiting for that proper long setup to form too. It started with a nice momentum, but momentum immediately died off without giving us a one little scalp, but that's okay, sometimes it happens. Right now I just wait. If you have got any questions, feel free to ask them. It seems like I will be waiting for a little more without any setups. I kind of feel like I should wait for this orange news too. Because I feel like in these recent days, the news releases causes consolidations more than they cause big candles. I mean, in previous years, news release would leave huge candles and maybe reverse back, maybe keep going, things like that. Right now, I see that there's a news on 10 a.m. price starts a little starts to be a little choppy right before and right after the news release. So I don't know if that's a thing. It's just my experience and my feelings. Currently, I am looking at two little consolidation areas. Maybe one of them is this one, right below this previous weekly gap, weekly opening gap. And the other one is this one, formed very recently. I don't know. I think price will eventually tell us something. This is the areas that I want to skip most. This exact area, because it is right in between these two moving averages, 20 simple moving average and 200 simple moving average. And this reminds me of two kind of patterns. One is This 20 moving average is keep going like that. They are crossing each other. This is turning bearish or keep crossing each other like that and chopping around. And also this reminds me something like that. This happens too. Doesn't matter which one is going to happen. I don't know and I don't care. What I care is I feel like this is a crossroads for price. Price might be picking a direction right at here, and I don't want to be inside of a trade when price is in that crossroad, right? Still kind of looks bullish though because of this pattern right here. Big black candle, white candle, the imbalance, price goes into imbalance, but after testing the imbalance, price can't make a new low and comes back higher once again. Closing above this one might push the price even further. Now it seems really interesting. Break, tap, lower low, another tap, another lower low. Now price take out that tap and look at this, how this two looks. I still don't want to take any setups right here. I want to see price showing me something more convincing than this consolidation over here, especially the place of that consolidation is what I don't really like. As you can see, price is bouncing from this level and receiving reaction from this level. But I don't know which one will be broken out, right? I can't see the future. I have no idea what he's going to do next. I lean on bullishness more, but this is not the bullishness I want to see. I want to see price easily going above both these two. And I want to see if price is finishing its business with this one. Okay. And I want to see these two are getting away from each other. If price starts to expand higher, then this 20 simple moving average, this green line, will be going further away from this 200. And that's what I want to see. Also, this is the through the open. I want to see price gaining this level too, if I'm going to long it. I would be willing to take a combo setup after price goes higher. I mean, something like that. I'm willing to take something like that. Break above this, retracement, higher high, sweep the retracement, and then turn back higher. I'm willing to take risk for this long. Something like that. Partial from here, and then here. This is the current week's opening gap. Price tapped its current week opening gap and went back lower, swept the Friday high, Friday low, not Friday high. This is the Friday low level. Let me zoom in. Okay. Oh, I couldn't. Friday low, also a tap low on hourly chart. It was swept. Price accumulated. Left the accumulation area. Retracement towards the accumulation area during the today's London session. Makes a new high. Right here. Then sweep the London session and go back higher. Still looks bullish. I just need a proper lower time frame entry. The reason I didn't want to enter from these levels was, as I explained, price being in between two, and I can't really be sure if this is going to turn back higher or this is going to be a crossover again. So I mean, my bias can be wrong every time, so I can't just trust my bias blindly and jump in a setup with it. That's why I don't click long just with my bias. I believe my bias always can be wrong, end up being wrong, or it may be correct at the beginning, but tides may turn, right? So price might make an unexpected reversal, things like that. So I want to be in tune with the price instead of jumping in a long setup just with the bias. I mean, we could have bought from here or from other levels or from here, but that's not really what we want to do. We want to make our analysis, pick our direction, and then listen to the price, what it says, and watch it, what it does and where it goes. These are really important things. So I believe price might wanna tap this 20 SMA. I mean, this is not the cleanest price action. It is quite slow, but still I might take a long setup from this level after sweeping this level. The only thing that I am curious to see if price is going to make a double bottom or not. I mean, on 30 seconds it seems like it doesn't want to do the double bottom, but it has been really slow. This is the midnight open price level. If I see imbalances like that, I'm waiting. Let me check ES real quick. Looks pretty much the same with Nasdaq currently, but Nasdaq is still stronger than it. Yep. I think I will take this one because price is tapping the 200 SMA, and I will just take 2 micros because this was a bearish imbalance. Price tapped a bearish imbalance. The reason I took this one is, first, this closed as a doji. Second, this tapped into the 200 SMA. Normally I wouldn't take any entries inside of a bearish imbalance, but in here, because of these two reasons, I tried one setup. This is a combo setup on 30-second chart. I don't want to see this low getting taken. These are the higher lows. I want to see this this exact low staying protected. Let me go back to 1 minute time frame. Seeing sideways price action over here is okay. Because as long as price stays sideways, this green line will start to turn flat and eventually look upwards. Now I want to see this imbalance being invalidated. I want to see price not receiving too much reaction from it, closing above it, etc. I wouldn't be surprised if price wicked in this low, because this candlestick does not have a low, as you can see. Price might leave a wick over here, but if does not and keeps going higher, that's a great sign. Okay, the risk on the first setup was not too big. It was proper risk. Price seems like it is taking this right here. But if it does not take this low, I would be okay with that. Happily, I mean. I wouldn't be surprised if price made one last sweep, take out this low to tap the 200 SMA on 1 minute chart too. On 30-second it was tested, but a little wick below these lows wouldn't be a surprise. But I don't want to see this low is getting taken. Low, high, very low, higher, high. A break here. Again, higher low. Real close to last higher low. And another higher high. Because of the structure behind this, I don't want to see this taken on bullish scenarios. Yes, starting to look a little stronger than Nasdaq. I think tapping this weekly gap over here might be the reason for it, or it might be something else, I don't know. This is the previous weekly gap, and this is the current week's gap. Yes, seems like it is settling up on this 20 SMA. And Nasdaq too. That's a nice sign. I will add another one in here. Now I want to see price going where. First of all, I want to see this high getting taken. And I want to see price tapping this weekly opening gap. And eventually Monday high. But I can't be really sure about Monday high. Price has been a little choppy and slow. I don't know if this would be a insight day or not. But well, this level looks really good. Good for partial. Right, 81 level. So one partial over here, right at this high, and another partial on 81. Almost. If price closes above this high, I'm trailing my stop loss to this level. After closing above here, I wouldn't want to see price taking out this loss. As you can see, I'm simply following this structure. ES already broke above, which is good sign. Nasdaq might want to follow along. Okay, now I want to see a closure above it. After the closure, I will trail my stop loss in here. If these partial levels were a little bit further away, I would have and add this position, but since the partial levels are really close, I don't make additions. Also, price has been slow, so I don't want to add near the range highs. I mean, if we look at price from this perspective, we see that we are inside of a consolidation range. This is a range, right? Let me turn it into a box. We are currently inside of a range and we are anticipating to price take out the range high, at least sweep it. Wait a second, border is here. Ah, I made it. We are currently inside of this range. This is our range low and this is our range high. Yes, probably took that range high. No, not yet. Great. And we are close to high of the range, right? If you draw a Fibonacci level, we are above the 50%. Right, this is the 50%. We are way above it. This is why I didn't want to add to the position, but I believe price might keep going with speed without going too deep lower. But again, price has been slow and choppy, especially in here. It wouldn't be a huge surprise to see price coming back to this 20 SMA once again and then turn back higher. I don't really know. I'm not really a very smart guy. Receiving some reactions from this level. This is a tap high on lower time frames. You can see it on 1 second chart, 5 second chart, on 1 minute. It looks like this on 1 minute, but if we zoom into, by the way, I'm zooming in just to show you the idea. This is a consolidation area, break, and this is the tap, or this one, but this one is higher, so this is a tap. You might consider take this as a consolidation area too. The area, leaving the area, retracement, first retracement towards the area, and this is where price took right now, received some reaction, but still going, which is a great sign. These tap liquidity levels, these SBS levels on lower time frames or higher time frames, doesn't matter, always creates some kind of reaction, right? After price takes this out, price receives the reaction based on the strength of the level, right? If this is a less important level, the I forgot the word. Wait a second, I will remember it. Reaction. That was the word I was looking for. If the level is very significant, the reaction becomes significant too. If the level is less significant, the reaction becomes something like that. Invisible, almost invisible on 1 minute time frame and visible on micro lower time frames like seconds chart. The one thing I want to share is about my experiences. When price is looking like this, the more you zoom in, the messier it gets, the more difficult to navigate it. Did ES took out the high? Not yet. Good. It's nice to see that. I don't want it to take it before Nasdaq does. I will ideally want to see both taking the high. It would be even nicer to see a bullish imbalance above these levels. Bullish imbalance means price might be coming to this level. Midpoint of this gap. Maybe this real gap. Oh, ES took the high. Let me check. Nasdaq did. Nasdaq took the high too. Okay. Our partial taken. Take this one too. Nice profits over there. I think I want to carry this one until this level. This weekly opening gap on Nasdaq. It might be receiving some reaction from here because on 15-minute it looks a clean candlestick and body of it. Bodies has got some kind of liquidity too. I mean, when the candlesticks are looking like this with long wicks, price hitting this level is like price taking out a sweeping a high like this or like this. So also on regular trade hours, this is the place we drew, the level we drew, right? Price currently seems solid and strong, so I feel like it might want to come to this level. I will leave this level at purple because it is inside the RTH gap and ETH gap. RTH is regular trade hours, weekly opening gap on regular trade hours, and weekly opening gap on electronic trade hours. On electronic, the gap looks like this. On regular, the gap looks like this. And this is another nice level, the low of the previous weekly gap. The first couple of weeks of February, this level. Okay. These are great levels. I have been observing these levels for more than 2 years, I guess. As you can see, the high of the level. And this is a pretty significant expansion and another one here, right? And right now, current week's gap, this one, and another previous gap. You see the reaction. So these are quite nice levels. And price seems to be coming closer to that electronic gaps. ES didn't even came to its regular trade hour gap. I mean, look at this. I don't see anything between price and this level, right? There is almost nothing. This little imbalance over here and nothing else, right? Price is already inside of this imbalance and it's coming quite strong. And look at the way this candlestick closed. I mean, even if this wants to reverse around this level, it is really possible to see a wick, maybe a candle that comes towards this level and then turns back into a doji, right? And then reversal on the next candle, things like that can happen. But currently it just looks bullish. I would never short a price like this. I would wait for a confirmation. Price is going away from 20 simple moving average. This is sign of expansion, right? And most of the times expansions get exhausted first before they end. What do I mean by that? I mean, I really rarely see these kind of V-shaped reversals, right? Especially after these hours, after 10:30, for example. I mean, during the 9:30 open, it is possible to see these kind of V-shapes. By the way, this V-shape looks lovely on ES. Price just swept below this weekly gap. This is something I really love to see. One, you see over here, sweep the low of the gap and then turn back inside and look at that reaction. And again over here and here and right now once again. And after price comes back, look at the level it comes back to. Let me check it, Nasdaq real quick. 15-minute chart looks very solid. And price is closed inside of the regular trade hour gap with some conviction and some strength and some imbalances on 1 minute time frame. So I am expecting this high to be taken. This is why I keep holding my partial. We have got nice profits actually. We can close it here because, I mean, if this was a funded account, I might have closed it here because of the intraday trailing drawdown. I mean, if price comes back and hits break even, it will be like we are in 270 drawdown. But that's okay. We are just experimenting and this account doesn't really matter. Our experience is more important than that, right? This has been a killer trade. Nice points. Nice entry. Very tight stop loss. Good analysis. I think we did good today. Oh, I need another monitor. I just saw the questions. Would you consider this a bullish SPS sweep on the 1 minute? I will get another monitor, a small one, to see the chat. I totally forgot about the chat. I was just purely focused on the price. Excuse me for that. Okay. Passing evaluations is a lot easier than you think, believe me. And if you keep watching, you will see it is really simple, especially if you manage the risk properly, right? I mean, look how small we traded this account. We barely took a couple of micros, right? If this was mini instead of the micro, this 1 mini would be around $2,500 profit, and on the TP it would be $3,000, just one trade. Okay, and 1 mini is the risk many people uses on these evaluations, but currently I don't really care about passing them. I mean evaluations are really easy because most of them are cheap and you can use high leverage with them, and especially with the ones that doesn't have consistency rules. For example, Bulanux doesn't have consistency rules, right? If this was 2 mini, 1 mini, doesn't matter. This account would be passed, would be ended. But as I said, I don't care about passing the account. I care about building some habits. Let me check this price. It seems like another SBS setup. On 30-second chart, price sweep this too. I don't really want to see price coming back lower at this point. But it is going to do whatever it is going to do. I mean, sometimes it moves fast, sometimes it moves slow, sometimes it likes to go and immediately keep going with small sweep like this. Sometimes it likes to make deeper retracement, looking like taking the entry and going to TP and then making some deeper retracement and then turning back higher. It is going to do whatever it is going to do, so let's just watch and see what happens. On the RTH, price seems to be, it hit this 200 simple moving average, which is a nice dynamic resistance level. I mean, every time price hits the support or resistance level, it will get some kind of reaction, right? Even though it is bullish, it might still get some retracements from bearish levels. It will hit some level, see some reaction, and maybe it will keep going and hitting its target, or maybe it is reversing back, whatever. Doesn't matter. Let me go back to the chat. Okay, we talked about evaluations and we will keep talking about them. It's really not that difficult to pass them. The difficult thing is creating the correct habits without focusing on outcome. Everybody tells that, right? Forget about the outcome. Just focus on the process. Just focus on the process. Everybody and their grandma tells this, right? But it's really difficult to do that. I mean, hell, it was difficult for me. I tried my best to avoid impulsive behaviors, gambling behaviors, things like that, but it was really difficult for me. I couldn't help myself. I couldn't stop myself from overtrading, taking premature trades, taking trades with too big size. I was impatient. I had a lot of issues with my trading. But over time, when you be objective about your situation, I mean, by that I mean when you don't lie to yourself, okay, when you accept your situation with complete honesty. By complete honesty, I don't mean blaming yourself. I believe self-blame is just a coping mechanism, and self-blame is not being realistic, okay? I mean, if you blame yourself, you are just coping with the stress in an unproductive way. At least that's what I believe. Being extremely realistic is also being compassionate with yourself, right? If you're really realistic, you wouldn't blame yourself. You would perceive everything as just a pure data, even your mistakes, even your failures, right? Even the worst things that you did, worst mistakes that you made, they are all just data. And if you look at that data objectively, that data is telling you something, right? Giving you information. When you blame yourself, you are not receiving that information. You are being resistant towards that information. But when you or we stop blaming ourselves and then ask ourselves, hey, what is going on? What is happening here? Things start to change, right? Focusing on process gets a lot easier, and technical details are really not that complicated, not that difficult, right? I mean, the things I am talking right now, I knew this all along. I knew these combo setups work properly, work better during the small little choppy areas like that, right? I knew a lot of things, but I didn't apply them. I would tell myself, well, this is going higher, I shouldn't short it, then I would click short, sell, and then I would blow account, and then I would ask myself, I knew it was going to higher, why did I short it? Things like that, right? Or I would tell myself, I would do my analysis, just like I did today. I would look at the lows, I would look at the structure, I would tell, okay, this seems bullish, but then after I see this drop, well, it is dropping. Let me take a short scalp here. For example, a short scalp on this level. There are many times I would take short setup exactly on levels like that, right? I would short here, I would long here, then when it comes back lower, I would say, oh, I was wrong, and I would short here again, and I would end up with a blown account, and I would ask myself what the hell I did. And when I zoom out, well, it actually seems pretty clean, pretty obvious, right? Price just created a complex retracement, and I couldn't handle it because I couldn't handle the loss over here. That was my situation. I would take the long setup over here. As soon as it gets stopped out, I would get angry, I would get mad at price. Sounds dumb, I know, but I would do that. After I would getting mad, I would tell myself, this has to go up. Why didn't this do that? This was going up with nice momentum. Why did the momentum die without taking out these levels? And I would constantly click long. Then after I see these drops, I would panic. With that panic, I would short from this kind of levels, maybe even this kind of levels. And then when price keeps chopping, I would keep doing that until I blow the account. Does that sound familiar to you? If it does, you know the struggle, you know the difficult parts of the trading, and you know the analysis is not the difficult part, right? The difficult part is regulating your nervous system, managing your emotions. And this requires a whole new perspective on life completely, not just on trading. So yeah, but over time you learn, you understand, I learn, we all learn, we improve ourselves, and we eventually get better. So price has been resting a little bit, and I wanted to use that as an opportunity. So opportunity to talk about I wanna check this on 5-second chart just to see something. Do you see the fractal nature of the price? This was this low. It looks like this on 1-minute chart, or maybe this low, doesn't matter, right? It looks like this on 30-second chart, and looks like this on 15-second, and eventually look at 5-second chart. A little consolidation area over here. Tap above the consolidation area. Price sweeps that. Price turns back higher. Another little consolidation area over here. And the tap going higher, coming back to sweep this one. Over and over again. Price didn't tap the weekly opening gap. I'm going to kill my trade over here. This is not some nice profits. The reason I killed the trade is price got really close to this level and I didn't want to wait for a deep retracement, wait inside of a deep retracement, and sometimes when the volume is low, price might make deep retracement before hitting the levels, right? Deep retracement or maybe even reversals. I mean, if price is going to come back all the way to these levels and then come back higher, I don't know, I wouldn't want to be inside of this trade. Instead of waiting inside of this move, I'd rather just kill the trade right here. Because as long as my position is open, I would be in risk, right? I would still be exposed to risk. And I mean, taking a profit like this is better than taking a profit like this, right? I mean, this is much more than the first one, but I always prefer this first one because the second one consumes something really valuable for me, and that is my mental energy, my sanity. So let me sum it up. Let me talk about what happened today and about the things we talked about on this live session, right? First of all, we check this setup over here. Look, previous day's long idea. We didn't take it. We didn't see it happening live, but this is just a hindsight analysis to get the idea. We did this hindsight analysis. This was our little consolidation area, retracement towards the area, higher high, sweep, and reversal. We mentioned that this could have been a nice long setup. Exit around this level, maybe on this level, right? So maybe trailing stop loss, I don't know, whatever. However you want to trade, however you like to trade. And we zoomed out. We see this, we saw this little consolidation area, the move origin right here, and tap above it, and on a little higher time frames, another tap over here, London low as a tap low. You know, you see ICT traders taking reversal setups after price sweeping the London lows, right? When the London low is part of a clean structure like that, you see what happens. When it is not, you also see, you probably saw what happened. So we wanted to get, we wanted to get a lower time frame confirmation after we saw all of this. We mentioned this trade idea on 5-minute chart, long from this high, but then we said I don't trade on 5-minute charts. I'm not experienced with it, so I didn't take it. I just showed the idea. So we zoomed into 1-minute time frame, and price was really strong and expanding. So we looked at the volume, the strength of the price, and after seeing that one-sided momentum, we zoomed in a little to see something in lower time frames, and we saw this one on 30-second chart. We tried this long, it didn't play out, and it closed below this 20 simple moving average, and we gave it another chance if it could take out this high. It couldn't. It came back lower. After that, we erased our order here. didn't enter. Just watch this. Chop, waited, and we mentioned this one before even it occurred, right? Price was around here, I believe. Something like that. You might remember I told if price breaks above it and does something like that, I might take that long. And price did exactly as we expected. We didn't move our stop loss here because there was possibility for price to tap this 200 simple moving average. We left our stop loss below the structural low, which is one of these three higher lows. In my experiences, I saw that if price takes this one, it usually takes the other two. So we left our stop loss over here. After price came here, we added another one, and after price went back higher, we trailed our stop loss. Our risk was very low and our profits were pretty nice. We had a small loss from the first setup, but second was a big win. Erased all the loss and left us with some nice profits. I mean, compared to our drawdown limit, this is a huge profits. I mean, those prop firms creating an illusion that this is not a big profit, right? It looks like a 2% gain on a 50k account, right? They sell the idea that we are not making this much. We barely made. How much is this? Oh, this is 1%, not even 2%, right? Yeah, 1% is 50k. They make us feel like this is a small game, but it is not actually 1% gain, because our maximum drawdown is this, and we are making 1/5 of it. So this is actually a 20% gain in a single day, which is quite huge. Prop firms are creating us illusions like that, creating illusions for us, so we feel like we are not enough, we are not doing enough, but actually we are trying the almost impossible, right? If you ask any real professional trader with who trades huge capitals, millions of dollars, or maybe billions of dollars, if you ask them, they would tell that this is impossible, right? Close to impossible, at least. So we shouldn't beat ourselves up. Yes, we shouldn't beat ourselves up if we fail. There is always possibility for this account to get blown up. It is even possible for it to be blown up if market conditions are too choppy or too weird, right? Because as I said, one setup I take, I lose almost 10% of my total drawdown. And with my risk management, it all takes 8 or 7 losing streaks to blow this account. And believe me, it is not impossible to see 8 or 7 lose streaks with a profitable trading strategy. Okay, let me come back to the chat. I just did that today, blown an account. I'm sorry to hear that kinds of things happen, but trust me, it gets better over time if you focused on the right information, if you focus on your behaviors. Bro, are you same Jihan from Raw Penny Shiva group top on leaderboard? Yes, I am. That group was SBS Gang, I guess, when it was first opened. And now it is something like Market Structure Traders, I believe. I don't go to the Discord too much because it is restricted on Turkey, and I don't want to spend time with opening and closing the VPN, etc. So I'm not in the Discord, but yeah, I'm in that group. I wonder how those guys are doing. I hope they're doing well. Okay, guys, I am getting a little tired, a little hungry, and I want to go to the gym. I am closing this session over here. If you guys don't have any questions, if you have any questions, feel free to ask them. You can ask your questions from Twitter too. My DMs are open. You can come to my DMs on X. I don't sell anything, by the way. I don't have private mentorships, things like that. But yeah, I'm here to help if you need anything. This was a great session. I believe I wouldn't trade this session very well. I mean, I couldn't have traded this session this good without you guys. You guys are keeping me grounded. I really value your time and I don't want to waste your time. So that makes me act more cautious, more careful, which is something I can't do when I'm alone, right? When I'm alone and I'm all by my thoughts, I'm with my thoughts, I tend to get more reckless and more impulsive. That's the main reason why I do this live session. I think trading gets easier with a community. It is easier when you're not alone. So I thank you guys for keeping me grounded, keeping me accountable, and I thank you for joining the chat and showing your appreciation. I really enjoyed this one. I will be coming with more YouTube videos, more education series, theoretical videos like the one I shared yesterday. And I will also keep doing these live streams. I believe. How long did you take to reach this level after learning from Stoic? Well, it's about 2 years, I guess. Yeah, it will be 2 years. I think it is exactly 2 years, yes. It was 2024 February when I first started following Stoic Trader. Yeah, it's been 2 years. Before that, I was following ICT and its concepts. I mean, ICT concepts works. ICT takes the things that work on the market and rebrands them. So, but the way he teaches is confusing. Too many videos, too many stuff, and mentioning different things always, and not really consistent with his teachings and analysis. Most of the stuff is hindsight, and sometimes he doesn't even make any analysis, talks about price. He says it may go up or low, up or down, and after price drops lower, he said, see, I said it may go lower. And when you're a beginner, you got a tendency towards believing this kind of stuff. I mean, the best way to see if someone is bullshitting or not is checking if the analysis and the things that are mentioned are consistent or not. I mean, if the analysis is not consistent, the trade cannot be consistent. If you check my live streams, I am trying my best Oh, by the way, I'm not claiming that I'm a great trader or a great analyst. I'm telling you that I am doing my best to achieve greatness. And in order to do that, I know that I have to be consistent, and my analysis and my trading style has to be consistent either. So, yeah, I talked a lot today. I don't want to turn into ICT. I don't want to start ranting about my uncle. I will see you guys in the next session. Thank you for joining and participating. Have a great day ahead.